The skin condition known as vitiligo is familiar mainly in connection with Michael Jackson, but the condition affects many other people of color, whether physically or emotionally. The effect on the skin is a loss of brown pigment in different areas. People with the condition in the Boston area have begun forming a support group. Our guest is one of them. We'd like to welcome Valarie Molyneaux. Thank you very much for being with us, Valarie.
Thank you so much for having me.
First of all, what was it like finding out that you had this condition?
Devastating. I got hired in Western Public Schools in 2000. I was fine. 2001, I noticed a small white dot on my left thumb, and I know that the history has it that my great-grandfather is Irish, so I made fun of that. But by 2002, I decided to, go and check it out, and went out to Harvard in West Roxbury to the dermatologist to find out that I have vitiligo. No cure. So with the pronouncement that there's no cure for this thing, I drove to Jamaica Pond was one of my things. I was devastated. I was devastated to know that this thing was going to progress with no way of stopping it. Was just something I wasn't ready to take.
Strictly in terms of the physical effect, when this progresses, what happens?
When this progresses, one can turn completely white. And we all make reference to Michael Jackson. And yes, he did have the condition. I did meet one of his doctors from California. And yes, there's some family history for him, which unlike myself, there is no family history. We've heard that Michael Jackson slept in a tunnel machine and all of that. That machine, that equipment is there. It is true. Such machine is located at the Beth Israel Hospital, and I was encouraged by my doctor to go and get into that machine. When you go into that machine, you're going to get one of three results. Your condition will stop, your condition can reverse, or your condition can propel ahead. No one knows what they're going to get. Devastating, anxious to get into this machine. It's called the UVA light treatment. For me, it did not do anything but started going rapidly, and I immediately stopped my treatments.
Now, this is an autoimmune disorder.
Correct.
And
correct.
I wonder, what does that mean? Are there any other things going on that you have to deal with, or maybe even there's some good side effects?
Well, you mentioned the support group that I have started, and we had a doctor this year. We host a gathering every last July here at the Phillips O Colony in Dorchester. They've been gracious. So we just hosted our fourth gathering, and we had Dr. John Harris from UMass Medical. And it was interesting to learn from him that this condition now has some way of blocking melanoma, one of those skin cancers. So yes, there's a good side, and now we're learning of this. There's a bad side, and now we're learning of this new, what I would call a good side, that it's blocking. As far as autoimmune, yes, you can have an array of things comes with it. But the first one the doctor tends to check for is your thyroid glands. And if that's not a problem, then they'll check, and yes, for most everyone with this condition, you have something else.
You mentioned getting together with other people who have this condition. There was the conference, you're starting up the support group. What does that do, getting together with people, talking to people about this?
I say to folks, the AA folks have their group, the cancer folks have their group. When we come together, it's such healing that happens. There's folks that come to a gathering that go to the extreme. They talk about suicide. We had one woman with 3 kids, and just seeing what's happening to her, she wants to live no more. And so we're there to encourage you, to talk you through, to share some of our treatments that we've learned about. Have you tried it? And go try it, see what happens. We have folks coming to us with makeup techniques, how to cover up some of these things. And so it's working. The gathering, it's phenomenal. We're building a family unit. It's been 4 years, and we now refer to each other as sisters and brothers.
Well, with most conditions for most people, you have to live with it. So how do you live with it better?
It's a process, and I write poetry, and one of the ones I wrote was, it's a process. This whole thing is a process. For me, my first 2 years was a major struggle. I wanted to go to work, get back in my door. I would go to church. The Stop and Shop didn't see me for a period of time. It was home and work. Friends were cut off. So you have to get to a place where you have to say to yourself, this is it. I'm either going to live with it or I'm going to curl up, fetal position, and die. No. And so the conferences that we're doing helps to encourage folks. We're here for you, number one, and we're living, so you can live as well, you know.
We should mention if people want to get involved with this particular group, find out more, how can they do that?
We have a website. It's www.VITFriends, VITFriends, VITFriends.com, VITFriends.org, and our website is growing. We are across the globe at this point. We are now beginning to build in other states, encouraging folks in the other states to start. So this past Saturday, we started our first outside of Massachusetts. We started VITFriends, Hartford, Connecticut. So we're proud of what's happening. Folks can write us at VITFriends01 at AOL. We're also on Facebook. And the last Saturday in the month of October, we're going to be starting our first meetup. And Dr. Vanita, she's at the Brigham and Women Dermatology Unit, and she's come on board to advise us. And she's secured facilities for us to start our first meetup. So if there's people out there that are interested in getting in touch with us, it's VITFriends01 at AOL, or just get to us on the website. We're growing, and we thank God for what's happening.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Valarie Molyneaux. We'll have more news in just a moment.